Intellectual capital is the value of a company's employee, knowledge, skills, business training, or any proprietary information that may provide the company with a competitive advantage. Intellectual capital is considered as an asset and can broadly be defined as the collection of all informational resources a company that has its disposal that can be used to drive profits, gain new customers, create new products, or otherwise improve the business. It is the sum of the employee expertise, organizational process, and other intangibles that contribute to a company's bottom line. Knowledge refers to the facts, information, awareness, and understanding gained by a person through experience, education, or learning. It is broadly classified into two main categories: explicit knowledge and tacit knowledge. Explicit knowledge is the structured set of information which can be recognized, recorded, stored, and shared. We all know that every person gains something from the surroundings, circumstances, incidents, patterns, observations, and etc. This is what we call personal experience, which forms the base for tacit knowledge. It is an unrecorded, hidden, and unstated huge depository of knowledge, which is possessed by every person. The basic difference between explicit and tacit knowledge is that explicit knowledge is already codified, whereas tacit knowledge is rooted in the mind. Explicit knowledge can be described as the knowledge present in the fundamental form which can be easily delivered. This is due to the fact that such knowledge is available as written material and saved which can be read, accessed, and interpreted by any person. It is documented or recorded information which facilitates a course of action. Preferably, explicit knowledge is meant for reuse. It can be clearly stated by the knower, though verbal statements. It comprises of facts, theories, rules, relationships, and policies, which can be put to words in physical or electronic form and shared with people. Encyclopedia and books are classic examples of such knowledge. It may take the form of procedure manuals, documents, videos, reports, PDF, memos, database, website, and so forth. Tacit knowledge, as the name suggests, is the knowledge which a person owns, gathered from his or her personal experience, insights, emotions, observations, and circumstances. It is held by the knower in their minds, which is highly personalized and specialized. Further, its acquisition is due to cognitive processes. Such a form of knowledge is difficult to explain, write down, transfer, or quantify. It is obtained mainly by way of association with other person and needs a mutual effort to be imparted for its transfer. It is intuitive knowledge which is ingrained in the context, experience, values, opinions, practices, ideas, perspectives, and experiences. It is possessed by an individual, but it is not available in a codified form and it is difficult to articulate, and as it is stored in the mind of the person. Hence, for effectively passing on such knowledge, factors like personal contact, continuous interaction, and mutual trust play a significant role. It adds a competitive skill to a person as it is difficult to imitate. A knowledge management system is any kind of IT system that stores and retrieves knowledge to improve understanding, collaboration, and process alignment. Knowledge management systems can exist within organizations or teams, but they can also be used to center your knowledge base for your users or customers. Clearly, this is a broad definition, and rightfully so. This latter definition is what we'll talk about in this guide. How to build a knowledge management system or a knowledge base to improve the customer experience and help customers achieve success using your product or services. The meaning of knowledge meaning management system, while broad in use, can be narrowed to the following purpose. First is to help people utilize knowledge to better achieve tasks. When you look at it like this, you can reframe it as a more proactive form of customer success. You can answer customers' questions in real time as they're struggling with their challenges instead of constantly answering the same questions in your support ticketing system. Knowledge management cycle is a process of transforming information into knowledge within an organization. It explains how knowledge is captured, processed, and distributed in an organization. In this slide, we will discuss the knowledge management life cycle. First is knowledge acquisition. To acquire knowledge via knowledge assets is one of the ways to generate knowledge. The knowledge assets include knowledge of new products obtained from competitors, knowledge about new technology, and raw information transformed into knowledge that helps to solve business-related problems. Next is collecting knowledge is an essential part of the knowledge management process. If incorrect data is collected, the knowledge resulting from it would not be accurate. Consequently, the decisions would also be inaccurate because they are based on irrelevant knowledge. Knowledge application is when available knowledge is used to make decisions and perform tasks through direction and routines. Direction refers to the process through which the individual possessing the knowledge directs the action of another individual without transferring to that individual the knowledge underlying the direction. It is more that an individual who possesses knowledge advises another. For example, direction is the process used when a production worker calls an expert to ask her how to solve a particular problem with a machine and then proceeds to solve the problem based on the instructions given by the expert. Routines involve the utilization of knowledge embedded in procedures, rules, norms, and processes that guide future behavior. Both direction and routines are applicable to either tacit or explicit knowledge. Application does not require the person applying the knowledge to understand it. From a senior management perspective, knowledge is valuable if it improves processes, positively impacts the company's bottom line, and or reduces cost. Knowledge resources should be assessed, monitored, and ranked by value. Simply put, resources that are accessed and used more frequently become more valuable. Examples of knowledge value opportunities include but are by no means limited to the following. Change management, which is to increase adaptability, flexibility, and responsiveness in a constantly changing and evolving business environment. Next is customer knowledge. It is to collect customer knowledge to build and provide world-class customer service or to customize and effectively market current and new products and services. For instance, in a call center scenario, the value of knowledge can be measured through customer feedback, interaction, retention rates, and surveys. The essence of the creation stage is that no one fully understands the idea or emerging body of knowledge, not even those creating it. The process of creation is messy by nature and does not require well-to-formal methodologies or rigid timelines. For a business, the dominant strategy for working with early-stage knowledge is to flesh out an idea to a point at which its commercial viability can be tested. To encourage such activity, companies need to create an environment that allows creativity and experimentation while also providing some structure and discipline. As a fundamental element of knowledge management, knowledge identification is a crucial issue in contemporary business organization. Evidenced by research, medium-sized enterprises contribute constructively and significantly to economic development, society stabilization, and employment increase. their healthy survival and growth are of critical importance to a nation. Knowledge refinement refers to the process of evaluating, analyzing, optimizing the knowledge object to be stored in a repository, supporting the knowledge creation process of externalization and the articulation of tacit knowledge into explicit forms. And lastly, knowledge dissemination. Dissemination is the interactive process of communicating knowledge to target audiences so that it may be used to lead to change. The challenge is to improve the accessibility of desired knowledge products by those they are intended to reach. Now let's talk about some examples of knowledge management, starting with documentations, guides, guidelines, frequently asked questions, and tutorials. These written communications are great for storing and transferring knowledge, with text-based knowledge management, a system to store, categorize, and navigate subjects is necessary. In many cases, metadata is a great help for this. Next is case studies. These in-depth studies into particular subjects serve as complete guides to a subject, looking at the actions taken, the results of those actions, and the lessons learned can be extremely valuable and allows for lessons learned to be fully documented and archived. And lastly, feedback database. Everyone involved in a product, from designers to salespeople to customers, have the ability to share the feedback with the organization. All stakeholders are able to access the feedback and thus can quickly make key changes armed with information. To wrap things up, I hope you've learned a lot from our discussion, starting with the managing data, the database approach, the big data, all about the data warehouse and data marts, and of course, the knowledge management. So, that's all really I have. If there's no questions, I hope you have a great day today, and I'll stick around in case anyone has any questions. I will probably upload this to Canvas. Just so you know, guys, you can have a lot of example of those. I also upload rather to my site the various different examples like quantum any kind of what of those topics look like. And I hope you'll have a great day ahead. Bye!